Hello, welcome back to my channel. As promised, today I'm going to be reading an article entitled "There's Nothing Great About This Reset." This is an article from the Truth paper, a light paper, December 2020 edition, link for which is in the description. Okay, it's quite a long article, so let's get into this. There's nothing great about this reset by James Liggett. As most remain stupefied by rising infection rates, fixate on the daily R number, or argue the virtues of mask wearing, those who seek to impose their technocratic will and tighten their vice grip upon the earth aren't hiding anything. Catalyzed by a multi-billion-dollar campaign of virus fear and disinformation, infected minds from Wuhan to Washington, the World Economic Forum's, that's the WEF's, Great Reset of capitalism is a sophisticated plot to transfer all the remaining wealth and power from the people up to the financial classes. The WEF, the World Economic Forum, has been gaining power and influence on the international stage in recent years, and seems to have been chosen as the driving force behind the agenda. It presents a future of increased globalization, the imposition of a totalitarian framework of biosecure control, and hints at a transhumanist future that challenges the very essence of what it means to be human. But what is this Great Reset? Well, if you took the flowery descriptions on the forum's website at face value and mindlessly absorbed the slick messages peppering advertising billboards all over the country, you'd be forgiven for thinking this is a heroically ambitious rescue plan designed to overcome the mammoth COVID and climate disruptions to our social, political and economic systems. An entirely necessary response, demanding the cooperation of international stakeholders to combat the unprecedented challenges we face. Or, as the big budget promo video, which blends depressing themes of COVID-19, climate change, social justice and pollution destruction loudly declares, our world has changed, our challenges are greater, our fragilities exposed. Our systems need a reset. Everyone has a role to play. The Great Reset. Join us. Marketing spin aside, dig below the surface and you'll soon unearth some bright red flags. To begin with, the whole premise of this internationally transformative push, being an unexpected but necessary reaction to an unforeseen threat, is disingenuous at best. On the WEF's website is a complicated transformation map depicting and connecting a myriad of sectors, services and behaviours, interlinked with how they will fuse with the response to the COVID-19 crisis. Yet this sophisticated diagram had in fact already been published in 2017, now updated to include COVID-19, the catalyst that created... I've gone back, hold on, let's go back. The catalyst that created a smokescreen of panic to drive home and fast-track multiple long-held strategies to fulfill this agenda. The World Economic Forum and billionaire elitist cronies have set out an ambitious and open conspiracy to transform permanently every aspect of what we do, from food to finance and from travel to taxes. It wants to dictate to us how we will live, work and interact in the future, and under the guise of the connected 5G-driven Fourth Industrial Revolution, 4IR, they even plan to transform the very essence of what it means to be human. While the word reset is typically used to describe a return to an earlier way of doing things, it would actually be more honest if its proponents had coined their plans the Great Transformation. In an introductory speech in June of this year, Klaus Schwab, founder and executive chairman of the WEF, states that the global pandemic has created challenges not faced since World War II, which he claims have demonstrated that our old and outdated systems are unfit for the 21st century. In his amusingly thick German accent, he calls upon the world to seize this opportunity, not only in fighting COVID, but also in reshaping the entire international system and building a new social contract for the post-corona era. Throwing in a raft of buzzwords, including sustainability, resilience, equality and inclusivity, the billionaire manages to say a whole lot of nothing while assuring us that his Great Reset will enable the world to build back better. By radically altering our behaviours, harmonising with nature and integrating the Fourth Industrial Revolution technologies, it is his promise that better lives will be created. The Fourth Industrial Revolution component is perhaps the most alarming aspect of a plan for its sheer science fiction audacity. Don't think there's anything above that picture now. Once again, it's through the words of Schwab himself that we gain the best insight. His previous book of the same name is littered from cover to cover with his transhumanist ideals. He salivates over the potential of the emergent tech to blend man with machine, marvelling at the staggering confluence of emerging technology breakthroughs, covering wide-ranging fields such as artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles, 3D printing, nanotechnology, biotechnology, materials science, energy storage and quantum computing. He describes an Internet of Things connected world, with education delivered through augmented and virtual reality, plans for intrusive sensors to be installed across homes, clothes, transport and energy networks and smart cities with their all-important data platforms. He predicts that many professional roles, including lawyers, financial analysts, doctors, journalists, accountants, insurance underwriters or librarians, may soon be partly or completely automated. Schwab even goes as far as to suggest that mind-boggling innovations triggered by the Fourth Industrial Revolution, from biotechnology to AI, will redefine the human experience, from both a biological and a social standpoint. One particularly chilling section of the book details with some relish how these technologies can intrude into the hitherto private space of our minds, reading our thoughts and influencing our behaviour. You will, no doubt, hear a lot more about the Great Reset over the coming months. Prince Charles can't stop banging on about it. Sesame Street's Grover flogs about its benefits to the youth. You can learn all about this multi-billion, trillion-dollar plan through the WEF's own website, books and podcasts, and if you have a couple of $1 billion to your name, you can even take part in ongoing online group discussions with other movers and shakers. While we can, and amazingly still do, argue about the threat from a virus with a 99.5+% survival rate until we are blue in the face, it is important to recognise that the trajectory we are now on was planned and coordinated in advance over many years, and that the earth-shattering changes certainly do not represent the logical reaction to a typical flu season, as much as they attempt to convince us otherwise. We must also not forget that the "we are all in this together" mantra is a barefaced lie. So far, 2020 has been highly profitable for the billionaire classes. A recent report by Swiss bank UBS found that this group increased its wealth by more than a quarter, 27.5%, at the height of the crisis, from April to July. This was as millions of people around the world lost their jobs or were struggling to get by on government schemes. Granted, it is somewhat depressing to observe our self-appointed overlords speak so confidently and boldly about their plans for us. While it may even appear to be a done deal, and perhaps it is, without acceptance and compliance from the masses, Schwab's manifesto is merely the ramblings of an unhinged megalomaniac. Okay, so that's the end of that article and the end of this video. The next article I'll be reading might be this one. I shall read it first. I've got to be quite careful because obviously my videos are going onto YouTube and I would rather not have my channel taken down. So it might be this one, which is "Censoring the Vaccine Debate Will Backfire," or it might be this one, "Fear the Trojan Horse of Tyranny." We'll see. Anyway, if you have enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you next episode. Take care of yourselves. Until then, bye bye.